Well, hello everyone. Good day. Namaste. Hope you're doing well. It's a rare day that I get to ride the bike to work, so I thought I'd take the long way home and do a little video. And there's been something that's been bothering me, so this is less of a video of me, like, I guess giving information. This is not very educational. I guess I'm hoping that y'all can educate me a little bit more about some of these things, or at least give me your opinion, give me some ideas. But as you know, there's been a few other videos that I did about where I talked about looking for a second bike. Not really wanting to get rid of the Triumph, love it too much. Might just keep it for a good long time, hopefully. We'll see. But I am interested in doing long distance rides and doing more cross-country rides, trying some Iron Butt Association, Saddle Sore 1000s, things like that. And this is not the bike to do it on. I mean, it can do it. It's not the bike I want to do it on. And so I've been starting to look at used bikes on the market, and I know the market conditions are a little different right now for a lot of things, and I also understand that I am being very, very picky because I have a bike, and so I can afford to be. But I've had more trouble, I think, than I realized I would have, or I thought I would have, trying to find a good bike on the used market, either at a dealership or Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, Cycle Trader. Those are the main places I've been looking. And I'll tell you just a couple of the stories and problems I ran into, and see, you know, again, am I being too picky? Is this something unusual, or is this par for the course right now with the way that the market is? But so I've been interested in some of the bigger touring, maybe sport touring bikes, emphasis on the touring, I think, though. But also don't want to get too heavyweight, you know, nothing, no Goldwings, no Beggars or Harley Davidsons. I did that. So something more along lines of the BMW R1200 RT. Starting to come back around on the Triumph Trophy SE, the 1200. It would be kind of cool to just be a bigger version of this in a lot of ways. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, you get the kind of bike I'm looking for. You know, maybe a Concourse, maybe an FJR. I think those are a little bit more sporty than I'm looking for. But also trying to stay away from some of the heavier ones, like the K bikes, the K1600s, or the Goldwings for sure. Oh, there we go. Anyway, so one of the first bikes I started to look at, I found one. It was 2005 BMW on Facebook Marketplace. And you know, part of the problem is there's not necessarily going to be a whole lot of choices in your area. So this was about an hour and a half away, and it was nice blue bike. I'm a sucker for blue motorcycles, and sent a message to the seller. Told him I was interested. He said, hey, it's kind of taken apart right now. I'm replacing the brake module. And so I appreciated the honesty, and I said, hey, no problem. Let me know when it's put back together. I'll take a look at it. No pressure. Take your time. Let a couple weeks go by. I said, you know, hey, did your module come in yet? He said, yes, it's not put back in yet, though. I'm still working on it. I will let you know when it's done. All right. I'm not going to pressure somebody that says that you know, if they say I will let you know, then that's it. The ball's in their court. And then seller never let me know, never contacted me back. And is it still for sale? Yeah, it is still for sale, which either tells me maybe he's got somebody else on the line, or he lost my number, wasn't interested. I don't know, but I'm not going to beg somebody who or hound somebody when they say they'll let me know. Maybe that's just me. And also, it's I think I'm looking for something a little bit newer than the 2005s. So then I go to look at this one at a dealer. This was a Triumph Tiger Explorer 1200, It did not have bags on it. That's a whole other issue. But I go there, it's blue again. Oh man, there's a theme here. So it was a pretty blue color. Went to go take a look at it. Looked nice, sat on it, sits up nice. And then I start talking about pricing for out the door. So they wanted to add a $600 reconditioning fee to it. And they said they, changed all the fluids and turned the maintenance clock or maintenance calendar back to zero. So they did a $600 service basically. And at a Triumph dealer, yeah, that might be reasonable. But if you're going to call the $600 fee a reconditioning fee, I would expect a little bit more reconditioning than just fluids. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, but I would expect the bent shift lever that was viewable from 10 feet away, I would expect that to be replaced. It's a quick and easy job. They're a Triumph dealer. They can get the parts cheaper. I would expect them to do that. And the bike had obviously been laid down, maybe not hard, but hard enough to bend that, and that would have been an easy fix, but no, they didn't do that. Also the grips were worn all the way down through to the plastic. Again, an easy fix, a cheap fix, but they didn't bother to do that. And so it just felt a little insincere to me. Felt I don't want to be dramatic and say a bait and switch, but it just seemed to be like they were advertising at one price and it was really another price, and I didn't see the value that I was getting for that extra money that they were adding on to the sales price. Then went to look at another one on Facebook Marketplace, and this one, again, I'm not mad at the dealer for doing that. They were upfront about it, and I think they were being honest. But this guy, again, also being honest and forthcoming, is just another frustration. It's just sort of one right after another. So looked at a I want to say it was 2009, maybe a 2008 BMW. This one's a little bit more local. Talked to the seller, close enough that I could go take a look. Rode out there, met him in the parking lot, and again, not faulting the seller at all. But when I got there, he told me right away, he's like, hey, the brake service light just came on, and on this bike, that means that the fluid needs to be topped up. And I'm like, well, it could mean a little bit more than that. But he was honest about it, and he said, we could negotiate the price on it, or I can get it fixed, and it might take a little longer. So he was good about it, no problem. The reason I didn't get that bike was that, plus when I went to sit on it, it was set up for him and his body type. And that's something I didn't really consider, probably should have when starting to look at the used market, is a lot of people that are going to sell their bikes used are going to set up the bike for their body type. He had handlebar risers or little pullback ones put on, and he had a lowered seat on there, so I felt really scrunched up in my legs, and then my arms were way up here, so it felt a little bit weird for me. And I would have had to replace the seat and do some other things to get it to fit, and I wasn't really interested in doing that. I would rather find a bike that I'm ready to just jump on and ride, if at all possible, or at least have it be stock. And then if I'm going to buy aftermarket parts, is to replace the stock let me say that again. If I have to replace parts, I would rather they be the stock parts than have to replace aftermarket parts with more aftermarket parts. And so those have been some frustrating things that I found, and I think that last part should have been apparent and should have been obvious. I should have realized that was probably what was going to happen before, but I just didn't expect it or consider it. And I think that's also why a lot of people just go ahead and buy new. They're setting it. They know what problems it could have. There's a warranty. There's you know, they're starting from scratch with the stock bike, and if they want, then they can customize it, make it their own instead of undoing what somebody else has done. It was just having a hard time, and I guess I didn't expect that, because I probably had such an easy time buying this, and I'm buying it new, where I was just like, hey, that's the bike I want, put down a deposit, got a call when it came in, you know, hopped on, rode it home, signed some paperwork, and rode it home. So tell me what, for those experienced riders out there who've been riding longer than I have, longer than the 7 or 8 years I have, and most of my bikes have been bought at a dealer, if not new, you know, just lightly used, gently used, and I've had pretty easy experiences with those dealers. But now that I'm trying to be picky, trying to look for a bargain, it's just been difficult. So any advice or insight or wisdom you can give me there, I'd appreciate it. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.